Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. What you see before you is well, what is it? It's clearly an Apple II, as you can see by its high resolution graphics, but this is quite a unique Apple II. This was made or hand assembled from a kit by a chap in the very early 80s or late 70s. You can't quite remember when. Now this is a homemade machine. It was made in England, I think. I can't actually find any details about this machine, but if anyone knows, I would be incredibly grateful, because I would like to know all about this machine. Now this is an Apple II, as I said. It's a not fully equipped, but it has a full complement of memory, which I forget. It's 16K they came, was it? No, 4K, 8K, 16K, and eventually I think they were 48K, the Apple II. I'm sure people will correct me if I'm wrong. I usually am wrong. But I bought this from a chap locally in the Milton Keynes area about a year ago, and it never worked. It would turn on, the power light would come on, it would bleep sporadically, but it would not actually display anything. Now, I've spent a little bit of time today. I did ask him I asked him a little bit about this machine when he built it and used it, and he was an electronics engineer who worked, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say where he worked, but he was an electronics engineer. And he was a keen hobbyist and mad keen on computers, and he built this Apple II. He then went on to build something else which I've forgotten, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Now he's an elderly gentleman now. He said it's not been turned on, or hadn't been turned on, since about 1983, and as that's when he stopped using it. It was fully functional when it was put away. It's been put in a cupboard and it's been left there for the last whatever, since 1982, 83, whatever it was, and it's not been used. Now, it's not been kept in a shed, it's not been kept outdoors, it's been kept indoors, but in a cupboard. So as you can see, looking at the board, it is in excellent condition. There's a little bit of rusting on the terminals by the power pack, which is uncovered, which is quite exciting when you've got your fingers in there. And I must admit, when I got this machine and powered it up, indeed he was correct. It did work, but what I got was a scrambled screen full of, I think it was the letter A, I'm not sure now, but I think it was the letter A. So I turned it off, had a little fiddle about with loose connections, powered it back up, and it made no difference. So I put it away and I thought I'll have a look at it later. Now obviously I didn't, but that later has become a year later. So I've powered it up today purely because I came across it when I've been clearing out a cupboard, and I thought, I'll power it up and see what it does, and it displays a lot of A's, as it did. So I unplugged the language card, which is that, which I think increases the memory size. That itself is a clone of the Microsoft language card. There's no name on it, I don't think. No, that's not true. JDR it says on it, but I need to look these things up before I do a proper video on this, but I just thought I'd do a little quick peek. The disk drive card, which is that one, which controls 2 disk drives. At the moment it's controlling my disk drive emulator, which is fantastic. Which I also lost for about 2 years, and I've refound it. But this is a clone card, so I guess you bought them as a bare PCB, soldered the chips on, and away you went. I don't know. I need to do some research. The board itself, as far as I can see, contains no name, no manufacturer, nothing. I don't think there's even a date on it. Now, on an original Apple II board, these RAM chips would be sectioned off with some writing. It'll say 16K, 32K, whatever it says. And then there's a little section around the ROM chips, and it says ROM. CPU says 6502 and all that sort of thing. There's nothing on this. There are no legends at all. So I don't actually know anything about this. But the power pack is quite, well, it's not unique, but it is distinctive, let's say. So someone must know what this board is and what this machine is. It's silver. It's a bit like the, what was it? It's not the Bell machine. I can't remember what it was now. But it's different from the Apple, which was white or sort of a creamy colour. Apart from that, it's pretty much the same. It has two rather large brackets on the back that don't seem to do anything. The keyboard works properly. It does have holes here, as though it's not quite for this job, but it'll do, sort of thing. I don't know what they're for. The power lights up. It does have a large speaker inside. I think the Apple II one is over this side. This one is over this side under the keyboard. It's got some rather large heat sinks on the power pack, which are heat sinking away. Now, it didn't come with any other peripheral cards. There's no I/O card, there's no 80 column card or anything like that, although I do have such cards in my various Apple IIs. I have a collection of Apple II. I went through a stage of buying Apple IIs many years ago when they were dirt cheap. And they're stupid money now, but I used to buy them for sort of £10 each. So I do have a collection of Apple IIs. My plan was I was going to pull this board apart, check each chip and sort of clean it and work my way through it. But what I did today was I was looking at some of the chips, for example, let's say some of the RAM chips and some of the logic, and the chips themselves have got black legs. They're particularly dirty, so I've taken them out, cleaned the legs up and popped them back in. I've done that with about 7 or 8 chips scattered around the board. I didn't think it'd work. It rarely does, but I powered it up and it said Apple II, which was quite nice, and it bleeped. It never bleeps. It either gave you some static noise or it didn't work at all, but now it bleeps. I can't do it with one hand, can I? Anyway, I'll power it off. Okay, we're off. Apple II, there we go. So this, I don't know what this boot disk is. It's something I've downloaded in the olden days. O'Reilly's mine. Okay, O'Reilly, prepare yourself. Okay. But like I said, I don't know anything about this board. I will take it out and I will clean it properly and I will spend some time on it. But if anyone recognises this particular Apple II kit or clone or whatever it is, I would be quite interested in knowing. I haven't spent any time searching or finding out about this board, I must admit. So if anybody does know what it is, I'll be very grateful indeed. But this is an Apple II. I suppose it's an Apple II Plus. Is it an Apple II Plus? No, it's just an Apple II, isn't it? But anyway, there we go. Prepare yourself. I'm still preparing. What am I preparing for exactly? Let's power it off again. I need to put the cover on. I don't like reaching over the power pack. It scares me. Let's go for Pitfall. Prepare yourself. The disc says it's loading, or the disc emulator says it's loading. The little flashing LED there. There we go. Pitfall 2, even though I pressed Pitfall 1. Not that it matters. So yeah, let me stand up and see if I can get a closer look at some of the paraphernalia here. Lots of stuff there that wants to kill you. Right, over this side we can see RAM. The ROMs are all labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a 6502. It's not by MOS, it's by, what's that fancy Star Trek logo? Is it Cinetech or something? I don't remember. Joystick port. I've sort of hot wired composite to it because it has a BNC connector on it for some reason, and I don't have BNC connectors. Nobody has BNC connectors anymore. Quite a large speaker there, you might be able to see. And there we are, that's it. There's not a lot to an Apple II, but if you have an Apple II that doesn't work, there's quite a lot of chips to play about with. Anyway, that's it. So if anyone knows what this Apple II kit is, or indeed was, it's not a Franklin machine, because when it boots up it just says Apple II. I think the Franklin machines did say Franklin, and I don't know if the Franklins were ever sold in the UK. But anyway, I shall do more videos on this. I shall pull it apart, give it a good clean, and we'll play some games, probably in green, because let's face it, you need a green screen for an Apple II. Okay, thank you for now, and I'll see you next time.